Hey guys, it's me. I'm back for just a quick video. I wanted to talk about a planet that is extremely meaningful and impactful on every single soul on this planet, and that's Saturn. Saturn is currently right on top of my ascendant. My ascendant is 29 degrees Scorpio, and as you probably know, Saturn was in Scorpio, it moved into Sagittarius, and it recently started moving retrograde. And yesterday, it finally made the cut over to 29 degrees Scorpio and out of 0 degrees Sagittarius. It's going back into Scorpio to tie up loose ends and make sure those lessons have a firm ending to them. It's our chance now to go within and really reflect on what Saturn and Scorpio meant in our own life. For different people, it has different levels of intensity, of course. The entire globe is impacted, and when it's in Scorpio, it is going to be even more intensely felt. But some people have a lot of Scorpio in their chart, which makes it even more intense. For example, if you have Saturn and Scorpio in your natal chart, congratulations, you're almost done with your Saturn return. I'm sure you've learned a lot, you've faced a lot of losses, you've shed what does not serve you anymore, you've let go of the old view you had of yourself because you've seen the reality of yourself. You've come to terms. I feel like that's what Saturn does when it conjuncts your natal Saturn. You just don't deal with any bullshit anymore. You're sick of living a superficial life. And that also means you're sick of slacking off. You want to step up to the plate. These people are about 30 years old now, and this is the time that they're going to shape their entire life and their kids' lives. So of course the Saturn return is extremely important, but whenever Saturn crosses a natal placement or interacts with a natal placement in your chart, it affects you deeply. For example, my Pluto is at 17 degrees Scorpio in my natal chart. So when Saturn crossed over Pluto at 17 degrees, Saturn conjunct natal Pluto. It was almost the same day that my boss died. 43 years old. Had just turned 43. He was a Leo. And it was extremely hard, and it still is hard. I think about him every day. All of us at work do. He was a 1 in a million type of guy. Type of boss. He was an amazing boss. And he helped me so much. He was like a mentor to me. He hired me when I knew nothing about finance at all. He pretty much had to explain to me principal, interest, what's a loan. It was that bad. And he had the patience. He basically taught me as if he was a professor and I was a student. And I sucked it up like a sponge. And I thank God for that 1 year that I had with him. Just less than a year. Because I was hired at the credit union it was August of 2013. Late August. Mark passed away August 6th, 2014. So not quite a full year. And plus he was out all of July fighting cancer. Fighting stage 4 colon cancer that had spread to his liver. Meanwhile, before he died, he basically held a conference call with all of us and told us the good news that his wife is pregnant, due in February. And then he told us about the cancer. Because that's just the kind of person he is. Always focusing on the positive. But it's just so messed up and so sad. I've met the new baby, by the way. She looks just like him. It's a daughter. So 2 girls. Rest in peace, Mark. But this happened exactly when transiting Saturn conjunct my Pluto. It stripped away my mentor. It basically forced me to be more independent and to take things to a whole nother level. I didn't have, and I wouldn't call Mark a crutch, but he was a crutch. I leaned on him. When he's gone, I literally kind of stepped into his position in communicating with our referral partners, those relationships that he developed, because otherwise no one was going to hear anything, and there wouldn't be any communication. So I felt like I needed to preserve those relationships. It almost feels like he passed the baton, and I know he's smiling down because I've been killing it at work lately. Unbelievable numbers that I never ever would have. I didn't even hit goal once when Mark was around. So at least I hope that he can see. So anyway, switching gears, Saturn moving through Scorpio hits my ascendant at 29, or gets closer, hits it. And by the way, Saturn, transiting Saturn, it is slow moving. So these are weeks to months at a time of your life that are shaded by this aspect that you have from Saturn. Shaded and heavied down and broken down to the real layers. Broken down to the reality. You can't hide anymore. You're forced to step up to the plate. You're forced to be authentic with yourself, which means not being afraid to step into your power. Because it is scary, moving up the ladder, stepping into your power, taking on more responsibilities that you might not feel qualified for, but you are on the inside. And you know that the universe is putting you in these positions just for you to grow and learn and make mistakes and get depressed by mistakes so that you can change your behavior and, more importantly, the way you think moving forward in your life. And I just think it's so fitting that all of this stuff just so happened to revolve around my life at work. Saturn is about work. Saturn is about business, getting down to business, following your responsibilities, creating a stable structure. And today, Saturn is back on my ascendant after briefly getting off of it into a nice little scant into Sagittarius. It's come back. He's come back, Saturn has, once more. And I'm just wondering, what is my takeaway? It's hard to know for sure. But I know I have a lot of takeaways regarding my abilities to succeed, to put my nose to the grindstone, to be respected, to be promoted, to take on those additional responsibilities in life, to get me and my soul to a higher level of functioning. Growing up, pretty much. I've just grown up. I continue to every day. And I think that's what Saturn really comes down to, is just growing up. It's fun to be a kid. It's fun to be childish. It's fun to be willy-nilly, but there does come a time, and Saturn will tell you when that time is, that it's time to grow up. So thank you for watching. I would like to hear your experiences with Saturn going back into Scorpio. I think it's going to be a lot different energy when it does finally move back into Sagittarius for the long haul after the summer. I think it's going to be a completely different shaking up of the system than we saw with Saturn and Scorpio. But in any case, we'll get to that when the time comes. I'll see you for my next video. Please subscribe if you haven't, and yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm Carolyn. Bye.